Wapakoneta High School football on Time Warner Cable. Brought to you by Time Warner Cable and Wilson One Communications. Tonight's high school football action is being brought to you by the following sponsors: Allen Davis Insurance and Financial Services, your Wapakoneta Family YMCA, G.A. Windsor & Sons, Home Savings Bank, Derryberry and Davis Insurance Agency, Bailiff and Ely Long and Folk Funeral Homes, Molten Gas Service, sponsors of the Molten Gas Scoreboard, Cantner West Chiropractic, and Miller's Corral. Hello again, everyone, and welcome to a beautiful night for football. Big Dan Wilson alongside of Josh, don't call me Murphy Bishop. Always got to say that. And the missing Ron Bucky Buchanan somewhere between here and Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Tonight's high school football action between the Wapakoneta Redskins and the Elida Bulldogs is being brought to you by our friends at Allen Davis Insurance and Financial Services, your Wapakoneta Family YMCA, G.A. Windsor & Sons, Home Savings Bank, Derryberry and Davis Insurance Agency, Bailiff and Ely Long and Folk Funeral Homes, Molten Gas Service, sponsors of the Molten Gas Scoreboard, Candor West Chiropractic, and Miller's Corral. Josh, these teams, well, I'll tell you, it's a long season, and the weather tonight doesn't make it any better tonight. Wapak 2-6, Elida 0-8.
Yeah, Wapak has to come out and establish something and get something going for next year and get confidence in the players to get them back in the offseason, getting them lifting and get ready for next year. Elida, the same thing. Been down, getting beat up on this year. A lot of young players, a lot of sophomores, juniors, and a new coach. And both here we got two new coaches, Elida with the new coach and Wapak with the new coach. It's going to be the battle of the new coaches tonight, and we'll see who comes out on top.
Varsity coach for the Elida Bulldogs is Jason Carpenter. And, of course, Doug Zimmer, well, you know, coming off the high hopes of a playoff appearance last year, which Wapak hadn't seen for 10 years. A lot of high hopes, Josh, coming into this season. And I'm sure, you know, Coach Zimmer will tell you he's disappointed as well.
Yeah, he as ever, all these younger players know, as Fell left off with the banquet last year, said, I expect the team to be better next year. And things just didn't work out in Zimmer's way this year. And it happens in football, as we see this, and college football, a lot of upsets, a lot of things, a lot of teams that don't think, you know, that are expected to win and get beat. So it's been that year for Wapak.
And here's Danny Drips, one of the quasi-stars of last week, had an outstanding game.
Dang.
Kicks it through the end zone. Almost had a 60-yard field,
Wow.
a 70-yard field goal there.
Did he get 3 points for that?
Right under the crossbar there. Well, Josh, I think the most important thing we need to talk about as far as tonight is concerned, this is the last home game for the Wapak seniors on the road to Bath next week. So you know they want to put their best foot forward. You know they want to show up. It's not the packed house that we had against St. Mary's earlier in the season or against Bellefonte, our first game of the season. But nonetheless, the seniors have something to prove tonight, don't they?
Yeah, they're going to come in here, and the guys with heart, like your Ships and your Steinekes and your defensive line, they're young, and they're going to prove that they could have been there, and it didn't happen for them. And you see a young Elida quarterback fumbling the ball there.
Well, Elida actually running from a very familiar offense, the shotgun formation, 4 wide out that we saw last week against Kenton. And that quarterback is Shane Conrad, decided to run with the ball, coughed it up, and actually got a positive gain on the play. We'll call it a gain of 6. It'll bring up 2nd and 4 from the 26. Just underway, first quarter action from Harmon Field as Conrad sets up in the shotgun. A little motion in the backfield. It's going to be a quarterback keeper all the way, trying to get around right tackle. It's going to be well short of the first down. It'll bring up 3rd down, Josh.
Yeah, and Shane Conrad running the ball again, and with a host of defensive linemen from Redskins all over it. And I'm talking to some of the guys up here from Elida. They've had a lot of seniors quit the football team this year. And they got some of the younger players in there, a lot of sophomores and juniors getting ready for next year already. So, we'll see these guys for the next couple of years.
And they only have what appears to be about 9, maybe 10 seniors on the team. And Conrad's going to keep it, and he's going to be close to a first down. He had to get up to the 30, and let's see where they mark it. It looks like the judge is standing a little bit short, and he's going to be about the length of the football short of the first down. So with 10:34 remaining here in the first quarter, first possession of the game, Elida's going to think about maybe going for it, but they're going to bring out the punting unit.
And we'll talk about a little bit about Wapak's defensive line, a young defensive line. Bogan is a sophomore, Jensen Webb, and we got number 54, Bellman. They all come back next year, tough defensive line. And we're going to lose some of our good linebackers in Steineke and Ship. But
fourth and about the length of the football, and they've got the punting unit out there kicking into the wind. Standing at about his 25, we've got whistles. And let's see what the call is going to be.
Obviously, it's on Elida.
And it's going to be a delay of game on the Bulldogs. So they'll back it up another 5 yards. And we could see the man in the white hat is, looks like that's Dick West out there. One of our fine sponsors, Cantor West Chiropractic. That happens to be Eric West's father, who's been doing officiating for a long, long time. Nice to see him out there tonight. That's a good officiating crew that we've got on the field here at Harmon Field for week number 9, and that punt was almost blocked.
Yeah, it was close.
As number 7, C.J. Warren, just could not extend his leg, and actually he got ran into, and now he's looking for a flag because what had happened was it didn't look like he hit the ball. It looked like he hit the kicker.
Yeah, and the officials actually never seen it.
And the official, I mean, in order for you to get that call, the guy running in has to at least have a part of the ball.
Yeah.
Or it's running into the kicker.
And the kicker was.
So we're all kind of stunned that they didn't get that call because he kind of grabbed the kicker as he was kicking the ball. Here's Parker on the first play of the game. Wapak in excellent field position. We'll call it their 36.
Lauk, the ball carrier, and Derek Long, another sophomore linebacker on the tackle. They've had a lot of young players that are subbing in here for a lot. Well, if you look at the sideline, they don't have a lot to choose from. They're down to slim pickings.
We'll call it a gain of 3 to bring up 2nd and 7 from the 33. 2 wide receivers set for Parker. Little movement on the line, no call. It's going to be a handoff again.
Oh, nice defense. Number Tyler Bly with a good stop for Elida.
And that was Zach Locke, the ball carrier again, trying to get around right corner. Josh, again, what we did, coming into this game is we had the opportunity to get down on the field and talk to some of the coaches. And again, they're not happy about the way things are going, but nonetheless, it's the seniors that they want to concentrate on tonight. It's their last home game, and they're really expecting a lot out of their senior leadership tonight.
Yeah, well, we should see a lot out of Lauk and Lowther tonight.
3rd and 7 on a toss sweep, trying to get around left end is that man Lowther. He's going to be short of the first down.
Short of the first down, close to the first down.
Gets it inside the 30-yard line. Want to thank our sponsors for tonight's broadcast. Once again, our friends over at Miller's Corral, Cantor West Chiropractic, we mentioned them. And our friends at Time Warner Cable, who reminds you to check out high school football local on demand on 1111 anytime you want it. And be sure to check into Time Warner Cable, digital cable, Roadrunner, now phone service available here in Wapakoneta. It's 4th and a long, 1 quarterback keeper. Josh?
I'd say right on his butt. That's – whoa. And it's
what happened there?
Down. The chair fell. Man, maybe something was happening.
Well, they've got the first down. They'll move the chains. 8:05 remaining here in the first quarter. Wapak up, or not up, but attempting to take the lead. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, Dan, if you're Wapak tonight, you see a lot of what we're going to do probably is run the ball about all night. And with a depleted defensive line of Elida's, you're going to see
again. Inside the 15. Nice hard run there by Zach Lau.
Yeah, real good run. And number 40 again, Cody Carter, which is a senior on the defense, making the stop.
Again, one of the very few seniors
not too many
out there, but I'm sure plenty of those guys for a lot of going both ways. And, that's one of the issues that came up prior to the game and talking to some of the Wapak coaches is the possibility of having some of our more talented players going both ways. I know we've always been deep number-wise, and there's a flag on the play as Lowther skips his way into the end zone, but they're going to bring it back. But, why not, give some of those guys, some of those more talented players. We saw it in Lambert. We see it in guys like Bartlett and people like that, but giving them the opportunity to play both sides of the field.
Yeah, we've seen.
Why not have your 11 best guys out there?
Kenton does it. Malk's done it for years. St. Mary's, they have 3 or 4 of their guys going both ways. They're studs. And, if I'm the coach, or you're the coach,
you have to consider it.
Yeah, you do. If you got that kind of an athlete.
1st and 15, and in and out of the hands of the intended receiver, Mitch Owen. And Mitch just took his eye off the ball, actually heard the footsteps.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think he wanted to score. He wanted the ball, and he wanted to make something happen.
Yeah, ready to run right away.
I got 2nd and 15. And
so how's life at home with that bouncing baby boy of yours, Josh?
Really good. It's a change, that's for sure. About late getting to the game tonight. But I'm here.
And I'm sure your lovely wife appreciates that too. 2nd and 15 from the 18. And Parker stumbles, running backwards, and now it's going to bring up a long 3rd down.
And that's how the season goes. It's been that way.
Well, maybe that does in a way a microcosm, if you will, or epitomizes the season that one Drew Parker has had. It's just been it's been difficult for him at quarterback this year.
Oh yeah,
and it was kind of a surprise.
Yeah, he lost a lot around him from last year, and it's tough to make a change. You come in and you don't have your Schmergies and your Reeds, and it's just
3rd and 20 now from the 23. They're going to run it again. It's Zach Locke trying to get around right in. He's got that back and then some, and gets into the end zone. And what a strong run by number 27, Zach Locke, the senior.
Yeah, just like that. They're in the end zone. Zach Locke's done it all year. He's been the go-to guy, and I'm sure, and yardage-wise, he's our leading rusher. We don't have stats on that, and we should, but I didn't get here in time to get them. But I'd say Zach Locke is by far our leading rusher in the year.
As Danny Drips attempts the point after. 6:35 remaining here in the first quarter. Here's the snap. The place by not Parker, but that's number 10, Josh Kelly. And the kick is good. So with 6:35 remaining in the first quarter, Wapak jumps out to the early lead on a 23-yard run by Zach Locke. We'll keep it right here.
We'd like to recognize Charles Joseph. For the past 40 years, this superfan has never missed a Redskins.
Like to thank you for one of our fine sponsors, of course, our friends over at G.A. Windsor & Sons. In Wapakoneta since 1848. You heard right, 1848. Manufacturers of feed ingredients and biofuels. G.A. Windsor & Sons, fine supporters of Wapakoneta High School sports and the Wapakoneta community since 1848. Also want to thank Molten Gas. On the Molten Gas scoreboard, it's 7-0. Molten makes sense at home, on the farm, in business and industry. For the best service available, complete service inside and out, from gas logs, fireplaces, space heaters, and more. Remember, Molten makes sense. Little threat of rain in the air tonight, but basically a lot colder than what it has been most of the season. And even though it's week number 9 by now, we've had at least a couple of cold nights, but needless to say, this is probably one of our more chillier ones in the first 9 weeks.
And, I ain't going to complain. We've had a lot colder nights than this,
No question about it.
2 years ago at Salina, or even go back to 5 years in Salina, was nasty.
Year number 11 of bringing you high school sports here on Time Warner Cable. Here's the ensuing kickoff by Drips, not as far as the last one. It's going to be taken deep. It looks like C.J. Warren has some running room over midfield, has Danny Drips to beat, and Drips can't bring him down, and he's going to be wrestled out of bounds, but not after he gets deep into Wapak territory. A return of about 75 yards by number 7, C.J. Warren, the junior. And Warren, the punter, didn't get the running into the punter call, but certainly made up for it on that return, Josh.
Yeah, I seen Danny Drips kind of waited on that, and as a defensive back, I thought he should go ahead and attack. He looked, kind of waited, and that's how he got by him.
First and 10 from the Wapakoneta 21. Elida in excellent field position. Shane Conrad in the shotgun. That 4 wide receiver set. Little motion, high snap, manages to snag it and bring it down.
And 51, Jensen Webb with a great tackle. And Bogan and Webb on that tackle. Nice defensive stop. And as the quarterback, Cody Carter, the high snap. Now they got, there's Carter again with a quick hitter to Cunningham, another sophomore, 5'6", 145, quick kid. A lot of young players here for Elida. It could help them here in the next couple years.
Well, Elida started this drive in good field position, kind of working their way back, sort of like Wapak did there initially.
Yeah, I tell you, Elida is a lot of young players.
3rd now and 16 from the 25. Warren deep, sets up, looks, fires across the middle, has a man open and knocked away, but it's going to be
pass interference.
Interference on Wapakoneta. And limping back there looks like it's number 35, Evan Saunders. Saunders is one of those guys as a senior is going to get some starting time. That's what the coaches told us. And unfortunately, I don't know if that's on him or who down there, but it looks like that could be the call.
Yeah, it's on Wapak. Definitely, Saunders was all over him. And the Bulldogs, this would be their night to big upset coming into Wapak and getting their first victory of the year.
Well, that's going to put them 1st and 10 from the 12-yard line, right? 5:13 remaining. Here's Warren in the shotgun, quarterback keeper all the way, not going anywhere.
And we've seen a lot of that last week with Kenton, their big 6'6", 210-pound quarterback, and Trevor Beasley. A lot of that running up the middle with their wide splits with their line, and it hurt us a little bit. And then if he didn't throw the ball, he sure had some receivers to get it. Or if he didn't run the ball, he had some receivers to throw to. And very good Kenton football team. And here goes Elida and Bly in motion. And that's a sweep right with the quarterback, and bam, he's right down it goes. 2nd and
11 from the 13, and they're doing a lot of that quarterback keeping there, Josh.
Yeah, and Tyler Shipp on the tackle.
And again, Tyler Shipp, one of those guys having an outstanding year. A senior that hasn't let up at all, and certainly doing a terrific job defensively for the Redskins.
Yeah, and talking to some of the Elida coaches, Carter's came in mid-season here and has taken over the reins. And like you said, some of the players from the seniors quit. And it shows they have, not too many, Dan, not too many seniors on the field.
3rd and 11 from the 13. A chance to get a first down inside the 5 if they can get there, but they're sure they want the touchdown. In and out of the hands of the intended receiver. And back there, of course, was number 23 helping him out a little bit, is Corey Bailey.
Did that play look kind of like
junior.
Slow motion? I mean,
yeah, it did. It looked like it was slow and developing.
Yeah. Nothing happened here. They'll go for the field goal. And Holder is
kicking into the wind. And Wapak's been struggling offensively, so I'm kind of surprised they're going for it. It's Cody Warris, the junior, with the kick. It's a low liner, and he's got it. He's got it.
And that's another underclassman making a big play, and I'd say he should be out there at wide receiver, 6'4", 200 pounds. Probably a soccer player converted over to field goal kicker.
Exactly. Well, we'll keep it right here with 3:46 remaining here in the first quarter. The Bulldogs cut the Wapak lead to 4. It's 7-3. I'd like to once again thank our sponsors for tonight's broadcast, our friends over at Derryberry and Davis Insurance Agency, your health insurance specialist. Give John Derryberry or Robin LaFontaine a call at Derryberry and Davis Insurance Agency in the heart of downtown Wapakoneta, 127 West Augley Street. Also want to thank Dick Ely and his crew over at Bailiff and Ely Long and Folk Funeral Homes, worthy of your trust, for their fine sponsorship. and Jim West and the gang over at Home Savings Bank. Your hometown bank supports your hometown team. Hometown pride, hometown service. Home Savings Bank in downtown Wapakoneta, your mortgage loan specialist. I'd like to also thank our friends over at Miller's Corral for their fine sponsorship again this year, as they line up for the ensuing kickoff. A squib kick, it bounces off a Redskin, and it's going to be recovered by the Wapakoneta Redskins at about their 45. So they'll get it back with excellent field position. 3:47 remaining here in the first quarter. Wapak up 7-3. It's all about field position right now tonight, and that's why Wapak got their first score on a miscue punt by that man who made the big run for the Elida Bulldogs, C.J. Warren. Got them into scoring position. They had a 27-yard field goal by Cody Warris. And now Wapak in excellent field position again. Going to hand it off. And trying to get around left end is Lauk. There's going to be a couple of flags Lauk was looking for. A little extracurricular there by number 7, C.J. Warren.
He just kind of hog-tied him and threw him to the ground, didn't he?
Well, he had him. It was a dead ball, and I think that was kind of a unsportsmanlike conduct almost, but maybe a little bit of frustration on his part. But I don't think it hurts. And Coach Carpenter wants an explanation by the side judge. With 3:39 remaining, Wapak up by 4, 7-3 here at Harmon Field for tonight's high school football action between the Wapakoneta Redskins, 2-6, and the Elida Bulldogs, 0-8. Wapak on the road to Bath for the final game of the season next week. And then Elida has to travel to St. Mary's. And St. Mary's has their hands full tonight as they're in Kenton. There's Locke trying to get around left end. Wiggles his way inside the 30, close to the 25. We'll call it a gain of about 6 on the play.
Yeah, Lauk running tough, as he has all year.
You know, Adam Lowther and Lauk, you know, they were expected to be the Bulldogs in the, excuse the pun for the Elida people, but certainly carry the weight offensively for the Wapakoneta Redskins. We saw a few other people get some handoffs back there. Lang, we haven't seen much of him in the last couple of weeks. A few other people, Matt Lawrence, and he got hurt.
Yeah, and he's tough.
And, of course, Jason Bartlett was another guy that we expected to see more offensively and just haven't seen a lot of repetitions out of him.
No, and I'd like to see more of it. You know what I mean? I like watching Bartlett run the ball. He's explosive.
But I guess you can't give all those guys who are explosive, whether it's Lowther or Lauk or Bartlett, if you're not on the field enough.
Yeah.
So, and I think one of the things that Wapak has struggled with is communications, and it's, you know, we've had a lot of those penalties, delay of game penalties, as we watch another one of those nice runs
by Lauk. And on the tackle was 35 and 40, and
Stop made by 33, Adam
Stocker on the stop. And
Zach Locke with another nice hard run right there.
Andrew Lease, a junior, 5'11", 150 defensive lineman. He gets kudos on that tackle too. He did a good job. Small D lineman, but he's pretty tough.
They'll move the chains, 1st and 10 for the Redskins with 2:10 remaining. A toss sweep to Lowther, trying to get around left end. Stiff arms a few guys, drops his shoulder, and gets inside the 15. Close to, they're going to mark him out of bounds, just inside the 15. He'll be short of the first down.
That was a good run. Lowther with a nice in and out move. He kind of faked it inside and moved back out and got an extra couple yards. You
know, we talked about this guy all year long, but we saw him walking back to the huddle there, always downfield, throwing that little extra block. That John Madigan, that junior, is having an awesome year this year.
And next year,
one of the bright spots on the offensive line. It's going to be nice to see him coming back. Here's a quick hitter up over right tackle. It's going to be close to another first down. Had to get inside the 10-yard line, and let's see where they mark it. They're going to mark it right at the 10. So it'll bring up, 4th and 1, right? 3rd and 1.
3rd and 1.
3rd and 1.
And 85, we were talking about him earlier, the junior defensive lineman got up slow, Andrew Lease, and he's back up, and he's playing tough here for his fellow compadres. But it's tough when you've 0-8 coming in and depleted team with.
And they've got the first down and then some, so it'll be 1st and goal for the Redskins
Zach Lauk.
And again, another hard run by Zach Lauk. $1:26 remaining here in the first quarter from Harmon Field. Wapak up 7-3. And Wapak drawing first blood as they started from the 36-yard line of the Bulldogs after an errant punt. It was a 23-yard run by that man, number 27, Zach Lauk. He's back there right now. Let's see if he gets it. He gets it again inside the 5. Touchdown.
Wow.
Zach Lauk with his second touchdown of the game, a 7-yard run.
Nice run by Zach Lauk. Right up the gut, quick hitter. Man, I'm telling you, when the quarterback turns around, he's there. That's what you want out of your back. Quick hitters are, we've seen a lot of that last year with Andrew Maitland. Quick hitters, and he punished some defenses.
Exactly. So with 1 minute, 6 seconds, it's Drips and Kelly to place it. Drips to kick it. It's up, and it's good. 1:06 remaining here in the quarter. It's 14-3. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this.
In this house, things are different. A download happens in the blink of an eye.
Honestly.
Your favorite shows are on when you want them to be.
What I'm gonna do is stir-fry this.
Quality time is the only measure of time. A phone call lasts for as long as you can talk.
How's school?
Family and friends cannot be preempted. With Time Warner Cable, the world revolves around you.
Welcome back to Harmon Field. Big Dan Wilson alongside of Josh Bishop. Absent tonight, Ron Bucky Buchanan, trying to stay warm on his way to Pittsburgh as he's looking forward to watching the UC game down there tomorrow.
Yeah, going back to Zach Lauk.
What a terrific night tonight. That's good. And we talked about that. You the seniors that want to show up tonight, and I'm happy for him.
Yeah, he's deserved it all. He's played great all year, and he deserves those touchdowns. And nice
Touchback.
hit by 34, Jeff Porter, sophomore.
So the Bulldogs on a touchback will take the ball at their own 20-yard line. With 1 minute and 3 seconds remaining, I'd like to once again thank our sponsors this year, Bailiff and Ailey Long and Folk Funeral Homes, G.A. Winter & Sons, and your Wapakoneta Family YMCA. Also a reminder, Time Warner Cable, you can check all the action, local on demand on 1111. You catch sports and all your favorite local programming on demand on digital channel 1111. 1st and 10 from the 20. Conrad inside his 15. That 4 wide receiver set with a single setback. Quarterback keeper? Yes, it is.
It is. Boom.
And
and there's the
fumbles
ball.
again. And it looks like Wapak may have recovered. No, it kind of squeaked through. And it looks like number 32, Tyler Bly, picked it up. Let's see. No.
Hey, it's Wapak's ball.
Wapak kept it.
And I don't know who got on top of it. It was either
Tyler Ship or
Steinke, and can't really look like it squirted out the back of his legs, but they say it's Wapak's ball.
Well, that's 2 fumbles there for number 4, Conrad, and the sophomore struggling after he gets hit, and he came limping off the field.
Yeah, he's just a sophomore. We got 2 more years of this guy. I mean, it's getting put in a position like that to come in and step in against it. And, hey, we've heard a lot of people say it, one of the best defenses in the WBL in Wapak.
Here's Parker with Chris Kinninger out at right wing or right wide out, the senior. Kenninger is playing wide out, and he's going to go out and coming in as Reed Turner.
I tell you what, that rollout, as he rolls out, they've blown that up in the last 2 or 3 weeks. I think teams are starting to, if he's rolling out, what he's going to do. And it showed last week, couldn't get it done, and right there.
Tight formation this time. And it's going to be another mistake by Mitch Owen. That's going to put him back another 5 yards. So regardless of who we're playing, this has been, the theme song for the Wapakoneta Redskins offense.
1 step forward, and what do you say,
2
Dan?
steps back.
It's been that way all year, and it's been
tough to watch.
It is, especially when you love Wapak football. I mean, to watch it do this, it just hurts.
2nd and 17 from the 30, 16 seconds remaining in the clock running. So barring an incomplete pass, that should bring us to the end of the first quarter. This play right here. Again, same formation. Here's the
and
counter.
They called it. The coaches were calling it, and there he
and
goes.
There's Loud, and Loud
man.
just busting his way
He's going
forward.
for a record tonight. He's going for 6 or 7 touchdowns.
Man, he's inside the 15, close to the 10, has another first down. They'll move the chains, and with 1 second left after they move the chains, that'll bring us to the end of the first quarter. So they're at the end of 1 here at Harmon Field. With the score, the Wapakoneta Redskins 14. The Elida Bulldogs 3 will be back.
In this house, things are different. A download happens in the blink of an eye.
Honestly.
Your favorite shows are on when you want them to be.
What I'm gonna do is stir-fried rice.
Quality time is the only measure of time. A phone call lasts for as long as you can talk.
How's school?
Family and friends cannot be preempted. With Time Warner Cable, the world revolves around you.
Welcome back to Harmon Field. Week number 9, Josh. Do you believe that?
I can't believe it already. It's
Week number 9. 1st and 10 from the 11. Here's Lowther. Busts his way up the middle, and Lowther wants to join in on the action as he rumbles forward for an 11-yard touchdown run.
4 seconds into the second quarter, and we're at 21 points. If you look at this team tonight, it looks like a lot like last year's football team. Scoring on at will, you know.
It's all about the seniors tonight. Adam Lowther puts another 6 points on the board. It's 20-3, just underway. Second quarter action. Here's the place. The kick, it's up, and Danny Drips splits the uprights, and it's 21-3, just like that.
And it's nice to see the coach.
We'll keep it right here.
It's nice to see Zimmer use his seniors like he is tonight, just using them as workhorses.
Yeah.
I mean, he's letting them have their senior night at home, and hey, now all we need to see is Parker throw some passes or run the ball. He hasn't got to do what he needs to do yet, but
you know, with the exception of a couple of run backs last week, you know, two run backs for touchdowns. They got the 7 points there, but Goose Egg against Shawnee struggled, even though they put some points up on the board against Van Wert. But you go up and down this list all season long, and, you know, the offense hasn't really done anything impressive in any one particular game. And now tonight,
oh, they've had their moments, but like you said, it's one.
They haven't been able to close the door.
Penalties, and then they go back 15, and it puts them at.
As old Bum Phillips used to say, they were knocking on the door. They just weren't opening it up or knocking it down.
Yeah.
Danny Drips to kick into the wind this time. And it's a low liner squib kick, gets inside the 15.
It's the 23. And
Mitchell Hurley gets it up near the 30-yard line, and the Bulldogs will take over first and 10 from there.
He changed numbers. He was 21, now he's 23.
23, right.
Give him a different number. Want to try to confuse the defense tonight.
Want to remind you about your sports injury connection, Cantor West Chiropractic Care, 801 Brewfield Street, Redskin Trail in Wapakoneta. Dr. Ron Cantor, Dr. Eric West, caring for you. Cantor West Chiropractic. Just underway, second quarter action. Wapak up 21-3. Shane Conrad in the shotgun formation for the Bulldogs. Wapak showing blitz, and they do blitz.
Yeah, nowhere to go. It looked like the Shipmeister there and Steineke in on that. They blitzed and knocked the lineman into him and took him down.
Wapak on the road to Bath, so if they could win tonight and win at Bath, a 4-6 record, not what they expected. Far from it this year, but you can always look back at some of these games and say what could have been, Josh.
Yeah. I mean, there was games I thought we could have won. We could have definitely won the St. Mary's game.
There's a lot of pushing going on back there, and it was intercepted, but there may be a defensive interference down there.
By number 36.
That's Mitchell Beamer,
Mitchell Beamer.
But there were hands extended and people pushing, and You know, it's one of those plays that it can go either way, but I think what they're going to do is they're going to call it on the Wapakoneta Redskins.
I'll
call
give
it
Mitchell
on
Beamer a really good athletic play on making that catch, though. I mean, no, he was, like you said, could have went either way.
It looked
but
like he
made
almost
a great defensive play.
Took the ball away from the receiver there.
It was an aggressive play by Mitchell Beamer, and he's a player that's coming back just as a junior. Get to see him next year as a DB.
I was watching Shane Conrad warm up in the pregame down on the field, and he was throwing BBs on the exact same route down the field. So I was not surprised to see that running play, but surprised that he ended up short on the throw. And there goes that man, number 4, the quarterback, Shane Conrad.
And Ethan Barnt, senior defensive lineman. Is that how you say that? Barnt, 90, for Wapak with the tackle. And Ship, too. Ship was there.
We'll call it a gain of 1. It'll bring up 2nd and 9 from the 41.
Ethan Barnt, we haven't seen him much this year, but they're getting him in tonight.
And you talking about a team that's been struggling offensively. Oof.
Yeah.
The Bulldogs have. So I'm kind of surprised they went for the field goal and not for the touchdown.
And
there's a nice
Chad
pass
Schneider.
and a nice catch there by number 9, Eilerman. Matt Eilerman on the receiving end is going to be short of the first down. They'll bring up 3rd and about 3.
3rd and 3, and Chad Schneider with a good stop. Tried to break on the ball just a little late.
Coach Carpenter trying to make some calls from the sideline. Taking his time, just trying to be very methodical.
And
trying
Coach,
to give his offense some consistency, some rhythm in the game.
Coach Carp talked about him. He came from Florida up here to coach the Bulldogs. Came from Florida. I don't know why you leave the sun to come here to Elida, but he's seen something that he liked, and he's
must have been in Gator Alley. Oh,
Yeah.
in and out of the hands. Almost intercepted there by Chad Snyder.
But they talking to some of the coaches up here in the booth, they really like the guy. They say he's turning the program around, and he's a young guy. I think he's only 26 years old.
And that's what you need sometimes. You need a little bit of, somebody's coming in there with, blank and vinegar, as the old man used to say. 9:38 remaining here in the first half. Wapak up 21-3. They're not bringing out the punting unit. The Bulldogs, maybe they are going to punt it. C.J. Warren is standing inside his 35-yard line. So I believe they are going to punt it. He's got the wind with him. And they might have a delay of game here if they don't snap it pretty quickly here.
He's got 6 seconds left.
And there it is. Low snap.
Yeah.
Nice pickup.
Bogan just
nice
chests the
hit
guy.
into the wind, and it's going to be Chambers inside his 20. Looking for some blockers, trying to get around right end, not getting any running room. Stiff arm to the 25, to the 30, to the 35, and up to the 40. And a nice something out of nothing there for Devin Chambers.
Yeah, he kind of followed his blocks. He's seen it break down there at the end. Sideline, cut back, and had a lane. And I've seen Bartlett have a couple good blocks there and hitting some people.
Well, we'll call it 1st and 10 from their own 39. 9:23 remaining here in the first half. Wapak up 21-3. As we mentioned, Wapak on the road next week to Bath. And the Bulldogs on the road to St. Mary's. Good luck there. 2 wide receivers set for Parker. Parker is going to hand it off. And bouncing his way forward is Zach Lauk with 3 or 4 white jerseys taking him down. He had 1 foot on the ground as they had
and
1 foot in
over
the air,
shoulder
and
pad,
he
I think.
was still moving forward. Wow, a little ballet pirouette there by Zach Lauk to try to get something out of nothing, and he got a lot of something. 6 yards on the play. It'll bring up 2nd and about 4. It was a nice run by Lauk.
Oh, yeah, he's running tougher than heck tonight.
It's senior night tonight. Take advantage of it while you can. Here's Parker.
And
he's going to drop back, 3-step drop. Looked for the screen under pressure. It throws, and it's going to be knocked away and intercepted. And a nice interception there by number 33, Adam Stalker, the sophomore.
That was a really nice interception.
Stalker put himself in good position, but right there, it's Parker rolling and getting pursued. Nobody's blocking for him as he's rolling out. He can't roll left or roll right without having one guy in his face all year long. And then he's forcing to throw down the field instead of running with it. He's throwing an off-balance throw, and that time it got intercepted. The offense has just
why don't
been
they
struggling.
out of shotgun? Like what Bucky says, let's a little bit out of shotgun and see. Let it give him a little time to with Wooster one-on-one down here, as tall as he is, throw it up to him.
1st and 10 for the Bulldogs after the interception from their own 43. You're probably right. That would be a good call. Little motion to the right. High snap and trying to throw it.
Oh, just like that, we got the ball back. Brad Steinecke.
Steinke's got the ball, and it's going to go back to the Redskins. So Conrad took his eye off the ball when it came to him, slipped right out of his hands, and he's struggling tonight. He had 3 turnovers there. 1 was recovered. 2 went back to the Redskins so far, and he's having a tough night at quarterback, Josh.
Yeah, he's like you said, he's looking to throw the ball before he has it in his hand. Right? Yeah, it's the 3rd or 4th drop.
Can't do that.
Yeah, you're right. He's got to get control and lead his team and not put himself in these situations. But he's young.
8:35 remaining in the half. That's right. He is young, and again, there's Zach Lau, cuts it across field inside the 10, down to the 5, and he wanted that one.
Man, I tell you,
he's running with authority tonight, isn't he?
Heck yeah, he is.
He is running with authority tonight.
He's running all over.
There's a good look at him with his helmet
yards
off right there. Zach Locke, number 27. Not one of the tallest guys on the field, but certainly one of the more aggressive guys, and one of those seniors that's doing an outstanding job tonight. And there is a flag on the play.
Zach Lauk is honestly, he's only 5'7".
Well, he's probably not even that.
155 pounds. That's
but I'll tell you what, he looks a lot bigger down on the field, and again, he runs with authority. He's one of those guys that certainly does an outstanding job when he's got the ball in his hands, and it takes, he does a good job blocking too, which he doesn't get a lot of credit for. And, one of the things I'm surprised that we don't do with him is throw a lot of more swing passes to him.
Yeah, like last year.
Get him out in the open field and just, see what he can do. We know what he can do when he's got a little bit of running room. And there's another fumble on the play, and a Bulldogs may have turned it over, or got it back. The Redskins turn it over.
Wow.
So here we go. It's a Bulldog turnover, a Redskin turnover, Bulldog turnover, interception, fumble again.
And what do you? So you got 2 and 8 or 2 and 16.
We got 2 and 6.
You got 0 and 18. So
yeah, there you go.
That's been their seasons. This is happening.
Pretty much describes what's happening right there. And that recovery is going to take place in the end zone, so they're going to bring it back out to the 20. And there's going to be a timeout on the field. No, there isn't a timeout. There's just a change of possession timeout. So with 8:19 remaining here in the first half, Wapak up 21-3. The Bulldogs again with the football.
And Shane Conrad back.
Conrad back inside his 15-yard line with a 4-wide receiver set. Takes the snap, has time, looks, runs up the middle, breaks a couple tackles, still breaking tackles, and manages to get a nice run out of it.
Did you see 51 Jensen Webb get up in the air, or was that – that was Bellman. He jumped, I think, dang near jumped right over the lighted offensive lineman. Man, I tell you what, he had some ups on that play. Making the quarterback run instead of passing the ball. Kind of jumped right in front of his passing lane, and he brought the ball down and ran it.
We haven't looked at any numbers, if you will, when it comes to playing time, but I don't even know if I want to look at how many minutes this defense has been on the field this year. In and out of the hands of the intended receiver down there, Dakota Deckdolt.
That's hard. Say that 5 times in a row.
And it'll bring up 3rd and long.
That was Drake Ferris.
Oh, I'm sorry.
6'3", 200-pound tight end. That with the drop. We don't want to give Dakota the nod there if he didn't make the catch.
That's right.
They'd be like, that wasn't me.
That wasn't me. A lot of shifting going on the line defensively here for the Wapakoneta Redskins. They've got motion out to the right. Here's the snap.
We ran out of time, delay of game.
He's gonna question whether or not there was time on the clock. It looked like he got it off. But the back judge who makes that call said, no, we didn't. And they're going to get the delay of game call on them. They're going to back it up 5 yards, and it'll bring up 3rd and even longer. We'll call it about 3rd and 12. 7:37 remaining here in the first half. Wapak up 21-3. on a chilly Friday night. But nonetheless, a beautiful night for football. Gotta love it, high school football. I don't care who's playing. It's always nice to watch.
Yeah, it is.
High snap, under control, look downfield, has his man open, and overthrows the intended receiver. No matter how much he stretched out there, I don't think Kareem Abdul-Jabbar
could have caught that.
Stretched out.
But I'll tell you what, though, if it would have been
open.
Corey Manns, that might have been caught. Because
The
that
senior
guy had another step as we watched him last week.
Oh, yeah.
That Manns, he had another wheel there that when he wanted to go, he could go. He was something to watch last week.
Tyler Bly unable to come up with that one. And that'll bring out the punting unit, number 7, C.J. Warren, standing in at about his 5-yard line. Has the wind behind him.
Looks like Wapak's going for the block punt here.
They got everybody and his brother up there. And he smelled the pressure. Going to decide to run with it instead of kick it and get wrestled down at about the 20. So Wapak will take over in good field position.
It almost looked like
got a little
designed.
bit of running.
I mean, it looked like he didn't even try to punt the
Yeah,
ball.
I'm surprised because he had a little bit of running room in front of him. And I would have just kicked it down the field because the last time.
Punt the corner or something.
Yeah, he got it up in the air. And even 20 yards down the field, you're going to get something.
Yeah, he knew. I mean, it was going to close.
But he took a shot at it and came up empty. 7:27 remaining. Stopping the clock with the
You see Garrett Lang stepped on
transition.
the ball
First and 10 from the 19. 2 wide receivers set for Parker. Handed off. It's Lauk again. Stumbles forward. Gets tripped up in the backfield by number 33, Adam Stonker. But still managed to get 3 or 4 yards out of the play, Josh.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's tough, man. I tell you, he's a running back that just never stops running his feet.
Garrett Lang, the junior, is in there in the backfield now. Clock running, 7 minutes remaining here in the first half, and we've got a timeout on the field. So we're going to take a timeout. 7 minutes remaining. Wapak up 21-3. We'll be back right after this.
Are you getting all the discounts you deserve when it comes to your insurance protection and financial services? Nobody offers you more personal lines discounts than Allen Davis Insurance and Financial Services. Other companies that promote discounted rates may not offer quality coverage and service. Allen Davis from Allen Davis Insurance and Financial Services does. Allen Davis is your solutions provider. Call Allen Davis today at 1-800-686-2148.
Welcome back to Harmon Field. Big Dan Wilson alongside of Josh Bishop for tonight's high school football action between the Wapakoneta Redskins and the Elida Bulldogs. WBL action. The 0-8 Elida Bulldogs against the 2-6 Wapakoneta Redskins. Boy, never fathomed that when we started the season. As Garrett Lang, the ball carrier, trying to get around right tackle, and a host of white jerseys on top of him. Garrett Lang injured a couple times this season, and Matt Lawrence and a couple other guys trying to get some reps in there in the offensive backfield, but it's mainly been Lowther and Lauk as we see. Is that Danny Drips coming in, or that's number 80?
That's 80,
that's Reed Turner.
And I tell you what, we've seen a little Drips running a little running back
ran the ball
last year.
real well, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see him in that position somewhere
next year.
Next year.
Yeah, with the speed.
In at quarterback for the Redskins is Kyle Hegemeyer. And Hegemeyer is going to hand it off.
By Tyler Bly with a big hit on saving tackle on Zach Lauk.
So we got a change at quarterback. It's Kyle Hegemeyer now at quarterback. Another one of those juniors, that multi-sport player. I've seen him play baseball. He plays basketball. And a real tall kid. I know his dad. Hegemeyer Tire Service here in town.
I'm surprised to see him come in so early in the game.
And, well, there's, give him a little playing time. And we saw Josh Kelly holding the ball instead of Parker. And, maybe we'll see Josh Kelly in at quarterback. We've seen him in his freshman, junior year. Here's Locke trying to get around right end. Gets rustled down before he can get into the end zone. He's going to be short by about a yard. Let's see where they mark it. The clock is continuing to run. 5:46 remaining here in the first half, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Yeah, and then Zach Lauk with the tackle was number 8, Dakota. We'll get his name this time, Dakota Beechdalt. If that's how you say it, Bickdalt or whatever. Bechtold.
Beckdolt. It's Lowther, and it looks like he got in.
Touchdown for Adam Lowther, his
So,
second of the night.
Adam Lowther with a 1-yard run to go with his 11-yard run. And along with the other senior, Zach Lauk, have yards at 23 and 7 yards run for touchdowns. We've got 4 running touchdowns for the Wapakoneta Redskins with 5:21 remaining. They extend their lead to 27-3. Here's Danny Drips to attempt the extra point. The place by Kelly, and the kick is nothing
but good.
Dead solid, perfect. 5:21 remaining. It's 28-3. Wapakoneta Redskins are up. We'll keep it right here. Want to thank one of our fine sponsors for tonight's broadcast. Again, our friends over at Miller's Corral, your partner in the appliance business, locally owned and operated for over 20 years. Fast, dependable sales and service for Whirlpool, KitchenAid, and Roper appliances. They service all major brands. Also see their fine selection of furniture from Flex Steel to box springs, solid oak furniture. Boy, I'll tell you, they've got it all over there. Miller's Corral, your partner in the appliance business. But, boy, they do have some excellent furniture out there. If you're looking for recliners or couches and chairs or even some solid oak furniture for that dining room. Curio cabinets. Miller's Corral on Defiance Street in Wapakoneta. Or give them a call at 738-9648. That's 419-738-9648. On the Molten Gas scoreboard, it's 28-3. Wapakoneta up by 25 with 5:21 remaining as Danny Drips gets into this one. No squib kick there into the wind, and it may go out of bounds, and it does. So the Bulldogs will get the ball back in good field position. Josh, let's talk a little bit about the Wapakoneta Redskins' hopes for next year. Doug Zimmer here on a 1-year contract. Not sure what's going to happen as far as his future is concerned, but if he does come back, he's got a lot of talent coming back.
Oh, he does. He's got a lot of talent in his junior class, and he's got a lot. The freshman class coming up is very talented. He's got a beast coming up in Logan Erb, but would probably step right in and play about anywhere he wants. I'd say he could be a good fullback, good defensive lineman. He could put linebacker, and they got a lot of talent coming back, and that's what he's got to look forward to. And he, as a Zimmer, you come in as your first year as a head coach, and it's different, new things, different than Greenville, and he's just got to get adjusted and get ready for next year. And I'm sure he'll work hard as anybody and get him ready for next year.
Shane Conrad again on the quarterback keeper, and if you're in a 4 wide receiver set, I'm surprised he's not throwing the ball more.
I don't know if he has time. He tries to throw the ball, and it looks about like our quarterback has been all year.
Right away. Yeah,
you feel bad for Parker. He just
no question about it.
Went from all WBL last year to throwing for almost what did he throw for last year? 1,600 yards.
Yeah, he had a lot of yards. Oh, here's the blitz
and Tyler
by
Shipp.
the Redskins,
and he got
Shipp
out of it.
Almost came up with him. And there's the throw, and it's going to be caught.
Catch.
He's got enough for the first down and then some.
That was a really good young play by Shane Conrad by avoiding 2 rush and Tyler Shipp.
Drake Ferris on the receiving end.
A really good play by Shane Conrad. Smart. Made an easy pass. Kind of ducked it out there. Kind of got a little wobbly.
But that was a good job by Ferris to break off his pattern and come back
for the ball. Yeah,
come back for the ball.
Smart play by the receiver.
That's something that even pros don't do well.
Yeah. They expect the ball.
Right over midfield. We'll call it Wapak territory. 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs, and running the ball, but there's all kind of flags. Probably a holding penalty. Came from the side judge.
And 51, Jensen Webb with a nice smack and hit. He really laid into him, and I don't know if it was holding or.
Well, Jensen Webb, another one of those juniors. We talk about those guys all the time, whether it's Ryan Azabel or Jensen Webb, and you can go up and down the list of all these.
This is the
juniors that we expect a lot of next year. Matt Lawrence, hopefully he's healing well.
I tell you, I hope he can come back because he was
Jake
impressive.
Lambert, another one.
Lambert. Lawrence and Lambert are big needs for next year. Lawrence, man, I tell you, he got rolling there, and he's a 210-pound back, or that's what he was listed as. Well, let's see what he is listed at. Lawrence was
they had him,
180.
about,
they got him 180.
200.
6'5", 200, somewhere in. And he ran tough. I mean, he's a big kid and a lot of speed. So,
long legs, yeah. I mean, he had
really
that. Smith, who ran for
Robert Smith.
Robert Smith, kind of
at Euclid, Ohio.
Stride.
Ohio High School.
Yeah, had a great career at Minnesota. Had to retire early though.
We were talking about him with Heartline on that return he had last week. Looked a lot like Robert Smith with them strides, kind of. And Steineke and 84. Matt Webenhorst with a nice tackle.
Yeah, Webenhorst and Steinke, I mean, those are seniors. And, again, they're looking.
They've been there all year.
Yeah.
You know, they've had the heart of Steineke.
I think they're looking to take it out on some people tonight.
They want to just go nuts, and I don't blame them.
You know.
Hey, it's been frustrating. It would be. I couldn't imagine being a senior and expecting to maybe even repeat. And then seeing where you're at 2 and 6,
And I'll be honest with you, the WBL just doesn't seem that strong at all this year.
No, it don't.
You know, there's a couple people that I think they're in their position by default.
Who are we talking to?
And that's almost intercepted.
Hey, talking to some of the
Josh Miller almost coming up with that one. Another senior. A lot of seniors
they're getting some
who don't get a lot of playing time are in there tonight.
That's good. They need to.
Miller almost had it.
That's nice as Zimmer does that and sees that and gets them in. That's nice as Zimmer to get some of them ball players that haven't got the Friday Night Light action.
Oh, no question about it. 3:09 remaining. The clock stops with the incomplete pass.
And talking about
3:20 or 3rd and 25. I'm sorry, 3:09.
Talking about playoffs, I think everybody's on the outside looking in yet. In the WBL, there's actually nobody that's in 8th or better in any region.
Well,
Ottawa's 10th.
We've got a timeout on the field, and we'll take we won't take a timeout. We'll just keep it right here, and we'll talk a little bit about that. Let's yak a little bit more about the WBL this season. Of course, we won't know until tomorrow night, and you'll long know when you watch this local on demand the outcome of the St. Mary's Kenton ball game tonight, as we expect that to be somewhat of a bloodfest over there.
Yeah.
But you look at everybody else. OG, there's no real lockdown. In fact, I'll tell you one of the things that we're saying. Some of the local or other fellow media types, I should say, that there's no real solid. I mean, usually by week number 9, there are people who are almost locked in with an opportunity. Even Marion Local's not locked in their region for the playoffs. It's really a weird year for West Central Ohio.
It is.
When normally you've got, when you look at up and down all the different divisions, you know, whether it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever, even Division 6, you know, in our regions in this area, you're going to have 2 or 3 person or teams, I should say, in each region, you know, in there, you know, with a playoff possibility. And right now, there's no strong winner out there.
Yeah,
no standout team. That's what I was trying to say. 3rd and long. We'll call it 25. He's got to go downfield. There's that timing pattern looking for a lot of pushing.
Oh,
nice.
What a catch. Wow. What a catch by Mitchell Beamer.
36, Mitchell Beamer.
Sweet.
And that time he made no doubt about that one. He was going to catch up.
That was pretty. That was pretty. Hey, that guy
kept his
might
feet in
need
and
to
everything.
be on the other side of the ball with hands like that. Hey, you know.
Well, he's not as quick as some of those other guys, but he made it. He got to the ball and held on to it, and that's all that matters.
He's got hands and he catches the ball. He could be a receiver in my eyes.
That's true. 3:03 remaining in the half. 1st and 10 for the Redskins now from their 34. 2 wide receivers set. Parker back in at quarterback, going to hand it off
Zach
to
Lauk.
And Lauk muscles his way forward over the 40 for a gain of 6. It'll bring up 2nd and 4.
Tell you, the way Wapak playing tonight, I mean, I know it's Elida, but they're playing like they're mad. They're playing like
no question. They're a little mad.
Yeah, I mean, but man, they needed to play this like this 7 weeks ago.
Exactly.
Maybe 10 weeks ago.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. 2nd and we'll call it a long 3.
And Lowther with a tough run. Madigan's down there trying to hurt people. 20 yards downfield. I'm just going to hit you. I want to hit you, and I'm going to hit you.
Was that him over the 50?
He's down here.
He was down. He was down about 15 yards off the ball trying to take out the safety.
That's what I like about it. He just wants to hurt people, and that's what I wish. everybody on the team had that mentality.
Yeah, no question about it. 3rd and a long 2. Little movement on the line, no call. It looks like he's got the first down. He's still pushing.
I think he's got something, a vendetta against 32 there, Tyler
Bly. Yeah.
Man, he might want to watch himself because I heard Madigan. He can really hit you. My nephew, Kevin Schneider, he's a sophomore, and he's told me this year, he said, I just don't want to get hit by that guy because he really brings it. And hey, I told him, I said, you're only going to get better by playing with guys like that.
That's right. Let's hope it's contagious. That's what it's all about. Here's Lowther trying to get around left end.
Oh, nice move.
Oh, had a nice sealed block. You know what set that up? Number 56, Madigan, sealed off the inside, and he got around him. And I think Worcester was out there too, but there's a yellow hanky on the field.
And he's just trying to make something happen, and you got to hide it a little better than that. If he's going to hold, you got to get it under, you know.
Got to hide it a little
I'll tell you what, you know who's good at hiding or concealing their holds is the Kenton Wildcats. We talk about that every year, and we didn't talk about that last week, but, man, I tell you, they're great at hiding the hold. You
got to remember
they get away with it.
These broadcasts, these replay at Kenton, too, sometimes. So.
Well, they know they get away with it. They coach it all the time, so they know what they're doing. Because I played against them. I know how they do it. It works well for them.
Well, they're going to bring that one back.
Pull you down.
Hold on for dear life. Well, we've caught them on film a couple times.
Oh, yeah, they're good at it.
I hate to say that.
If they get away with it, hey, you're coached right. You can get away with it.
Nose of the ball at the 49. Here's a toss sweep. Here's Mitch Owen trying to get around right end. Has a lot of pursuit.
Ooh,
not a lot of blocks, and Elida did a good job of stringing that one out.
And I tell you what, Devin Chambers came back and laid C.J. or Dakota Bechtold. Or is that C.J. Warren? I don't know, but he really laid the pipe. He hit him hard. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, when you're not expecting to get hit, you get hit like that, it hurts.
No, we've got an injury timeout on the field. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back 28-3.
Miller's Corral, 919 Defiance in the Grandview Plaza. Miller's Corral, your home for Whirlpool appliances. Miller's Corral, your home for KitchenAid. Miller's Corral, a 2-year, 100% warranty on every appliance sold. Miller's Corral, where they service what we sell. Miller's Corral, your home for Flex Steel furniture, rated the best in the industry. Stop by Miller's Corral.
Welcome back to Harmon Field for week number 9. It's hard to say that. Well, high school football here on Time Warner Cable. 28-3, Wapak up with $1:19 remaining here in the half. Here's Parker going to hand it off to that man, still running hard.
Man,
number 27, Zach
Stop
Lauk.
the clock. It's first down. Lauk running with authority. He hit Tyler Bly, their middle linebacker, and
he drove
him back.
He got it. They'll move it.
I just wish Zach Lauk had a couple more years to play, but
no
as we say that every year, we had little who was it? Got hurt. One of our favorite little running backs, and real little than Drips.
Oh, Cook or Rook,
little Dan Rook, and he was tough as nails too. Little small guy.
Yeah, that was terrible.
He had that injury there at Shawnee.
Yeah,
but he was fun to watch. A tough little back, just like Lauk. And then last year we had the Beast in the last 3 games with Power Tuttle Power.
Oh man,
Power right, Power left. He was something to watch, wasn't
he? Yeah, just a hard-nosed runner. Just
and hopefully
try to tackle me kind of runner.
I kind of see that out of Lawrence. We could maybe see that with him.
There's a pass wide open, intended for Chambers, and unable to come up with it.
Parker's pass into number 28, Devin Chambers, falls incomplete.
Yeah, look.
Wow. That'll stop the clock with 50 seconds remaining. You can bring up 3rd and 10. We'll call it the Bulldog 30-42. Not a bad crowd on hand tonight for senior band night. As prior to the game, they recognized the senior band members of the Wapakoneta High School Marching Band. 3rd and 10. Here's Parker again.
Yeah, you got the jump.
That tight formation.
Trips left.
Yeah, they usually run the counter out of that.
Yeah.
It's pretty predictable there.
but they still only had 2 DBs out here, and they got the safety. If you run one out here to the sidelines, it should
just
be
run a screen out to this side.
Yeah.
You know, fake that counter, fake like an inside counter, and throw that little screen out to the left. Have some fun with that. Yeah, do something else out of that formation. Let's see what they do here. They're going to come out in the same formation, so they're going to probably run the same play. And if it's a counter to the right side, and that's what it is.
Man.
They're just trying to strip the ball. There he is!
Oh, man.
Inside the 15.
What a run by Lauk.
Oh, man.
My. They were
Did
ready
I say
for
Maitland?
it.
I had Maitland
it looked
on
a little
my
bit
mind.
like Maitland.
Yeah.
I tell you what,
That brought back memories.
Lauk's
Because
over.
we were talking about
he's
Maitland.
over 130 yards.
Oh, he's having a great night tonight. That's
Really
fun
good
to watch.
night. I guess I don't have.
Well, we talked about it. I think that's one of the key things is the fact that he is a senior. This is their last home game. You never know who's going to take it to the next level, you know, as far as playing football on Saturday is concerned. And so, you know, you really want to take advantage of the opportunity. And, you know, he's just running hard. But he's run hard all year long, I shouldn't say.
Oh, yeah. He has. I mean, we've seen him he's had the first 5 weeks, he's had one big bust one here and there.
Oh, try to look for the quick hitter. Parker had to tuck and decide to run, and he got half. Oh, a couple of nice sweet hits over there by the Bulldogs.
And Elida probably don't really, you know, he's in ex-Elida.
Wow.
He moved here from Elida his freshman year. So all these guys are his ex-buddies. He played football up till his freshman year. And
another timeout on the field. So with 16 seconds remaining, Wapak's going to call a timeout. Up 28-3. We'll keep it right here.
And what do you think going into next year? I mean, quarterback-wise, we lose Parker.
Well, that's going to be a trip because we've got a few guys. We saw Kyle Hegemar. They really like him. He's 6'4". He's
big guy.
He's a prototypical type of drop-back quarterback where he's long and lean. He's got a good arm. He's got good arm strength. Not a lot of mobility, kind of a high school Bernie Kosar type, but nonetheless an athlete. I mean, I've seen him play other sports very successfully, basketball and stuff. But, you know, you got a guy like Jake Lambert coming back. And it's
can run.
It's going to be hard-pressed not to at least give him a try at quarterback next year. And I think he's got the leadership ability to be able to pull it off. The other problem is the fact that, you know, you've got all these other talented players out there. You're going to try to find a way to work them into the mix. You know, Bartlett coming back and Lang coming back and Lawrence hopefully healthy. I think they've got a really strong team for next year, and I'm really hoping that they're used properly, let's put it that way. Trying to set up the screen, and it's not going to happen. Oh, I can't believe he came up with that catch.
Oh, yeah.
Coming up with the ball.
Left.
Coming up with the ball is that man number 27 talking about him all night, Zach Locke, the senior. And I don't know how he came up with that catch.
Hey, this is his night. This is his night to shine. And
wow, and he's doing it.
It's his night.
He is doing it.
And
6 seconds remaining in the half, and another timeout on the field.
What do they do here, Dan? They going to bring in and let Danny kick the field goal?
We'll keep it right here since we've got time to talk about it. Danny Drips is lining up the field goal attempt, and I wouldn't say no to that. Why not? Why not give him a shot at it? Danny Drips with a 50-yard field goal this year. Boy, that was a beauty of a kick.
Well, I didn't get to see that one. That was a game I wasn't at.
Man, it was sweet. And I'll tell you, he has been dead solid perfect. And probably one of the most I didn't expect it because of all the other talent that we had and people that were going both ways, like the Lamberts and stuff. But Danny Drips, man, he's returning kicks. He's kicking off. He's playing defensive back. I mean, he's done an outstanding job and drills it wide to the left. Had plenty of leg behind it, but just could not straighten that sucker out. And he was kicking a little bit into the wind there.
I tell you,
once again, I want to talk about he's a junior, Danny Drips. There's so much talent in that junior class.
Danny
it's scary.
Drips.
It's scary.
And knowing that he can kick 50-yard field goals and kick them out of the end zone, if they were another year coming back, that guy could get a really good scholarship.
Well, I remember
somebody.
we saw Houston, who was the kicker for Ohio State when he was at Findlay in a scrimmage here. His senior year at Findlay, we had that scrimmage here at Wapak, and we were all drooling. We were like, unbelievable. And he made it look effortless. And Danny Drips has got that kind of motion.
Yeah.
He's just a very effortless kicker, as we see the kneel down here with 2-3 seconds remaining, and that'll bring us to the end of the first half from Harmon Field. So at the end of one half from Harmon Field, our score, the Wapakoneta Redskins 28, Elida Bulldogs 3. Second half action coming up.
Molten Gas Service, proud sponsors of the Molten Gas Scoreboard. Molten Gas Service. Molten makes sense. At home, for business and industry, or on the farm. Check us out on the web at moltengas.com. That's moltengas.com. Molten Gas Service. Molten makes sense. Bailiff and Ely Long and Folk Funeral Homes, proud supporters of Wapakoneta High School football and Wapakoneta High School sports. Bailiff and Ely Funeral Home, located at 1102 Lincoln Avenue, State Route 501 North in Wapakoneta, worthy of your trust. Check us out on the web at bailiffandelyfh.com. That's bailiffandelyfh.com. Home Savings Bank, where you're safe at home. Home Savings Bank, locally owned and operated, and proud to be part of the Wapakoneta community for over 60 years. Home Savings Bank for mortgage loans, checking accounts, ATM, equity loans, savings accounts, and more. Stop in and see Jim West. Home Savings Bank, hometown pride, hometown service. We're Home Savings Bank, 1 South Blackhoof Street in Wapakoneta. Recovery from any injury at home or on the playing field requires experienced professionals. Dr. Ron Kantner and Dr. Eric West are dedicated to getting you back to work and back on the field with comprehensive programs designed especially for you. Kantner and West Chiropractic are your sports injury authorities and BWC certified for any injured worker in the state. Kantner West Chiropractic, located on Brewfield Redskin Trail in Wapakoneta.
Welcome back to Harmon Field. We're at halftime for tonight's WBL action between the Wapakoneta Redskins and the Elida Bulldogs. And joining me up in the booth is Superintendent of Wapakoneta City Schools, Keith Corner. Keith, how you doing this evening?
Good, Dan. Thanks for having me. Appreciate being here.
Well, appreciate you having you up here. And we've got a very important ballot issue coming up on the November 6th Tuesday election, and we need to talk about it.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I believe the community is pretty well aware of it right now, and hopefully we can get accurate information out there about this opportunity. It's, in short, if we say yes to this, we get $31.6 million from the state of Ohio. That's a pretty good opportunity for an investment in the community on behalf of the citizens. And we certainly understand that there are questions and issues, but at the same time, in the big picture, that's an unbelievable opportunity. I urge people to really think twice before they would say no to that particular issue.
Well, earlier in the year, we had the opportunity to kind of tease everybody a little bit about it. We've got a couple minutes here at halftime to get a little bit more in depth, and of course, be watching Time Warner Cable Channel 12 and other outlets and other media outlets to get more information as we get closer and closer to that November 6th voting deadline, if you will. But let's talk a little bit about the initiative. It's called BEST for a reason, Building Excellent Schools Today, and it's an opportunity for us not to get one but two brand new elementary schools and to do some incredible things, some nice renovations and additions to not only our middle school but also our high school. So 4 buildings are what we're talking about as far as this initiative. And what exactly are we looking at?
Well, we're looking at the renovation and a small addition to the high school, the renovation and small addition to the middle school, with also the building of an elementary building in Wapakoneta for about 750 students, and the building of an elementary building in Cridersville with about 350 students. That's the issue we're facing now. And, when they come through and do this stuff, they assess our buildings,
right,
and they give an assessment, and they tell you that, okay, if that building will cost you 66% of what it would cost to build new, they're going to make you build new. So that's why we had to choose building new versus renovating. And to be very honest, a building like a Northridge really isn't very suitable for renovation when you get in and look at it. There's not a lot of space between the ceilings and the
right,
floors. You
right.
wouldn't be able to add any duct work that's required. And so that's the things that we're looking at.
It's the Cridersville building is one of the, if not, I believe it is the oldest building in our system. Plus, you look at Northridge being the second oldest. So, Centennial.
Yes, sir.
So you look at the two buildings that we're looking at replacing, and the need that is there for this community, and you could see what of a positive impact that would be for us.
Well, it's a need based upon educational needs, number one, safety and security needs, number two, and just updating technology needs, which relates back to education. You look at this, technology is not a fad. It's going to be here. It's here to stay, and we have to be in position to prepare our kids for that. It's again, it's just I said today, I believe it's buy one, get one free. You buy one building, get one free. Buy one renovated building, get one free.
Right.
So if we look at it like that, that's a pretty good opportunity for our community.
And one of the other things that I think people need to know is that these opportunities, when it comes to state funds, don't come around that often. When you're talking about a state of over 11 million people and all the different school districts that are here in the state, for us to have this opportunity may not come around in the near future. So we know that we're dealing with a couple of buildings that have to be replaced maybe in the next 5 years or whatever. And now is the time to get that money and use that money. And I believe it's a good opportunity for us. And I think more, as far as the community is concerned, they need to look at the big picture here. Correct. As far as how it impacts those two buildings, especially the elementary school.
Yeah, and when you do that, you really do need to look at the big picture, because you can always find something about a big plan that you don't like. I don't like what my favorite football team does on Saturday all the time, but I'm still a fan of that team. I'm not going to abandon them. And just look at the big picture.
Are you talking about my Notre Dame Irish? You talking about my Irish again?
No.
Okay, all right.
But the long and short of it is we have this great opportunity. We don't. This is not going to be cheaper the next time around. And when I say that, here's why I can say that. Two reasons. One, inflation goes up at about 8% a year is what they're averaging. So if you take it to 4% a year, 4 months from now or 6 months from now, then we have about $2.6 million increase in the total project cost. And that's a significant increase. So we would take, let's say we had to make cuts or didn't make cuts, we're still looking at greater increase the next time around. Also, if you look at what we have coming off, the ballots expiring, this is the cheapest time to do it. That's why this is the best time to build these schools, and that's the acronym. The BEST committee is working extremely hard. It's a great community bunch, and they are, to be very honest, unbelievable in their efforts.
Well, what's really good too is that if people want more information, they could contact you by calling your office at 419, of course, 739-2900, or you can check them out on the web at bestwapackschools.com. You guys have a really good website out there, but more importantly, you guys are going to be out on the street. You're going to be communicating with all the residents and all the homeowners. And I think, again, it's one of those initiatives that if you're going to be voting on it, you're going to be hard-pressed not to have any information in front of you, because you guys are really doing a great job of getting the information out to the community.
We don't want any question to go unanswered with respect to this program, and we want to answer everyone's questions so they can make an informed decision. And we truly think that when everyone finds out all the details, finds out how the decisions were made, then they too will come around and think, you know what, this is a good thing for our community as a whole, our district as a whole, and it'll never be cheaper.
Excellent. Once again, for more information on this initiative, it's 419-739-2900, or check them out on the web at bestwapackschools.com. Superintendent of Wapakoneta City Schools, Keith Horner, thanks for joining us up in the booth.
Thank you, Dan. Thanks for having me.
And we'll be back with second half action right after this.
And now, a Roadrunner heist.
What's that?
You internet from David's house?
What about?
But the Roadrunner is so much faster than our phone line. Don't you want what's best for us?
No. Honey, you too?
Yeah, me too.
Start something new with Roadrunner High-Speed Online from Time Warner Cable.
Your Wapakoneta Family YMCA is here for you and your family's fitness. Benefits of membership include advanced registration for classes at reduced rates, free family events, free adult fitness, free body composition and fitness testing, free fitness center orientations, unlimited use of the facility during business hours, free babysitting, reduced rates at the outdoor pool, and much, much more. Here for you and your family's fitness. Your Wapakoneta Family YMCA. Home Savings Bank, where you're safe at home. Home Savings Bank, locally owned and operated and proud to be part of the Wapakoneta community for over 60 years. Home Savings Bank for mortgage loans, checking accounts, ATM, equity loans, savings accounts, and more. Stop in and see Jim West. Home Savings Bank, hometown pride, hometown service. We're Home Savings Bank, 1 South Blackhoof Street in Wapakoneta.
Welcome back to Harmon Field. Dan Wilson alongside of Josh Bishop. We're second half action between the Wapakoneta Redskins and the Elida Bulldogs. Wapak up 21-3 as we wait for the second half kickoff. Josh, you have some stats for us.
Yeah, first downs, Elida with 1, Wapak 13. Rushing, Elida
kick here.
-17, Wapak with 205 rushing yards. And passing.
Turner on the return. Go ahead.
Elida 3 for 9 for 21 yards. Wapak 1 for 5 yards. Total plays, Elida 24, Wapak 38. Fumbles lost, Elida 3 and lost 2 fumbles, and Wapak 1 fumble and lost it. Penalties, and this is big for both teams. It should not happen in the 8th week. 6 for 36 for Elida and 6 for 52 for Wapak in 1 half. That's big. And third down conversion, 0 for 5 for Elida and 6 for 7 for Wapak. That's big. So some work to do still, and watch a good second half football game.
Well, we start the second half as we pretty much did the first half, and it was Zach Lauk on the carry for the Redskins with a gain of about 3. It'll bring up 2nd and 7.
Zach Lauk, we don't have any stats on individual players. And I'm sure with 205 rushing yards, Zach Lauk at least has half of that. And there he goes again, and he's stuffed up.
And a host of orange helmets on top of him.
Elida comes out and plays with authority. What? You don't like me being so close? Or?
No, I got to get to my thing here. Elbow roll.
I know, I'm all on top of you, and heck, we usually have another guy up here.
I'm not usually sitting down either.
Yeah, this is my last game of the year. It's sad to see. I can't believe it's already the end of the football season. It feels like it just started. Not really.
3rd and 5. Parker sets up, looks under pressure, but still manages to get it off. It's going to be close to another first down as they set up the screen.
Nice catch by Lowther.
Yeah.
Nice catch. And 33, Hurley and Stoker on the tackle. 4th down, and Wapak's gone for it.
Yeah, 4th and 1. And
why not?
Near midfield is about the 48-yard line. They've been running the ball real well, so why not? Yeah.
I mean, it's, neither team has nothing to lose. Go for it. Yeah, as last night you seen Rutgers had nothing to lose, and they upset USF,
that was
South
huge.
Florida. It was. And special teams what won it.
Oh, and you know what? This has been it all year long.
Jeez.
I mean, that is unbelievable. 4th and 1, they're going for it, and now they got a punt.
How does that happen?
Oh, yeah. This has been killing me. It's all about discipline. When it comes to offense, and you know that, we both played offense. I mean, it's all about everybody has to be in sync. It's like a well-oiled machine. And you've got to it's like a dance. It's like a ballet sometimes. It's choreographed. You got to know exactly where everybody's going and what everybody's doing. They fake it there. There's Lowther, and he's going to be short of the first down. And Elida did a good job of sniffing it out on their defensive line as Wapak tries to fake the kick to Lowther.
And Tyler Bly with a beautiful tackle. I mean, beautiful.
He snuck right in that gap, didn't he?
He hit Lowther right in the knees and dropped him.
Wow.
You can take the biggest man down, you hit him in the knees. Sometimes. I've seen Kevin Mack.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah. Out with driving his knees.
They just inducted him into the Browns Hall of Fame.
He was tough, wasn't
he? He was. He was like Mike Pruitt. I remember meeting Mike Pruitt for the first time, and I never saw a guy with thighs that big. He could just take a pounding. Even when Mike Pruitt was at Purdue, he was something else. Boy, there's a pass out of bounds. But when he came to the Browns, it was like he was in that era, that Earl Campbell era, where you had that really quick. It was a fullback / halfback, where he had incredible speed. I mean, guys that just had incredible speed up and down the field, had great hands out of the backfield, but that could mow people down. I mean, he was in that same Earl Campbell mode.
Yeah.
Of course, he didn't have the same kind of numbers he had, but he had his moments, and those guys were fun to watch back then.
Oh yeah, I like the combo of Kevin Mack and Ernest Byner. That was nice.
Oh yeah, that one's not going anywhere.
The Browns are starting to look like the old Browns at 3-3 going into the
I know Bucky and I
break.
haven't been going at it here, but his Bengals have not had a very good season, and at least the Browns at this point are 500. So
and they look good.
Got some to cheer about.
Derek Anderson's definitely shut the chanting of Brady down.
Yeah, and that's a good thing for Brady Quinn, because if you look at like when the Cincinnati Bengals were bringing up their quarterback Carson Palmer.
They let him sit out a year.
He had a great opportunity to sit behind a Kidna, who had an outstanding year that one year. Before they gave Palmer a shot, I mean, Kidna was throwing bullets.
Yeah,
and still is.
Yeah, Kidna, he's doing a good job in Detroit, and you like to see some of them teams. As a fantasy player, now that you play fantasy, you kind of root for players more than teams. But you got your team like the Browns, which of course we both root for. But fantasy. Tell you, it's been a crazy year. I mean, to have Browns players and say that they're some of your biggest players. I got Derek Anderson, Braylon Edwards, and man, they're money.
And there I am sitting with
Bengals players.
No. What's his name from St. Louis? Oh, there's a muffed snap, stumbles around the 40-yard line, and that's going to turn it over to the Wapakoneta Redskins.
And that's Elida's year. That's what they've been going through all year. Things like that, young mistakes, and you feel for the kids that have to, that new coach coming in, different game plan, and it's been ugly for Elida. Needless to say, they've been hammered every week by 30 or 40 points, and you just hope they can get it together in the next couple years.
Oh, absolutely. 7:53. Hey.
Zach Locke with the carry. Stop made by 33, Adam Stocker.
All right, I got it.
Second 5 and Bulldog 36.
Yeah, Elida with got 2nd and 5 here. Wapak with the ball. Parker back, looking to throw the ball out to Lauk. Lauk with a quick hit. There he goes. Ooh, and he's hit by Tyler Bly with a massive hit. And Bly is one of their big hitters, and man, he showed it right there. Tough kid. Bly, he's good in football. He's an all-around athlete, plays baseball, good baseball player. And here comes Bacher, Tyler Bacher in the game, senior tight end. And you've got Wooster spread out left with Kinniger on the right side. Parker up through the middle of the Elida defensive line, and 44, Zach Dempsey on the tackle, another sophomore with number 85, Dylan Poston. A lot of sophomores and juniors on this Elida football team. This is the least amount of numbers I've seen Elida have in a long time, as I've counted 33 players, and they've had to cancel their JV games because they don't have enough kids to play. So I hope they get this program turned around for their sake. Playing tough for having such a little team. Playing with a lot of heart.
Stop made by 23, Michael Hurley.
3rd and 2 for Wapak here. They bring in another host of seniors, Chambers and Mitch Owen in, and they're going trips left. And maybe a... Why does it... Oh, to Zach Lauk. Another one to Zach Lauk with it. Tell you, it's his game tonight. I wish we had stats, and usually Ron's good at getting that, but tonight we were kind of late getting here, and we don't have any stats. So, but Zach Lauk with another good receiving catch. And now we're down on the 4-yard line with Wapak driving. Zach Lauk with a really good catch. And Mitch Owen split left, and another senior Chambers split right. And there you go with Lauk.
Lauk again.
Third touchdown of the night.
Is he in there?
Yep. Third of the night. Tell you.
4-yard run.
Oh, man, he's lighting it up. Hey, I'm glad for him. I mean, he deserves it. He's worked hard all off season and the line and get him ready for next year. They get a little confidence in the last 2 games and get in there in the weight room, and things will happen.
Absolutely. 5:36 remaining here in the third quarter. Wapak extends their lead 34-3. Tripsy with the extra point. Attempt.
And good.
And it's good.
So, Dan, now you had a lead for a minute.
35-4. Yeah, we got to take a timeout. We'll be back right after this.
Are you getting all the discounts you deserve when it comes to your insurance protection and financial services? Nobody offers you more personal lines discounts than Allen Davis Insurance and Financial Services. Other companies that promote discounted rates may not offer quality coverage and service. Allen Davis from Allen Davis Insurance and Financial Services does. Allen Davis is your solutions provider. Call Allen Davis today at 1-800-686-2148. Molten Gas Service, proud sponsors of the Molten Gas Scoreboard. Molten Gas Service. Molten makes sense. At home, for business and industry, or on the farm. Check us out on the web at moltengas.com. That's moltengas.com. Molten Gas Service. Molten makes sense.
And now, a Roadrunner heist.
What's that?
You internet from David's house?
Put it back.
But the Roadrunner is so much faster than our phone line. Don't you want what's best for us?
Now. Honey, you too?
Yeah, me too.
Start something new with Roadrunner High-Speed Online from Time Warner Cable.
Welcome back to Harmon Field. Dan Wilson alongside of Josh Bishop. Week number 9 of high school football action here on Time Warner Cable. Channel 12 in Wapak at St. Mary's. Local on demand 11-11. Dripsy with a win. Gets a little bit of help, but it's going to fall short of the end zone. And a returnable
and he
kick.
is uprooted, buddy. Uprooted at the 19-yard line.
5:30 remaining here in the third quarter. The Bulldogs will take over 1st and 10 from just short of the 20-yard line. We'll call it the 19. Hurley was the...
No, Tyler Bly was the return man. They got it
Tyler?
wrong.
Yeah, okay.
They got it wrong
32.
over there on the other side. But sometimes...
sometimes it doesn't pay to listen to the...
announcer.
The announcer.
It's helped once in a while when you didn't see what happened, but that play, it wasn't.
Yeah, exactly.
Man, last year we got to go to 2 playoff games, and, man, that was fun. I wish we could do that again.
Well, there might be some playoff games for us to do for Time Warner. We'll see. But in the meantime, we're off to Bath next week. And the Bulldogs have to travel to St. Mary's.
Which is beating Kenton 21-7 at this point.
1st and 10. Here's a screenplay.
Ooh, and he's wrestled
down. Again, your guy number 32, Tyler Bly.
Good run.
Nice run. Nice screenplay there.
Yeah, I tell you, they're going to miss Tyler Bly. He's been leader on that team the last 3 years. They're leaving, and I get to watch him in baseball. Real good baseball player also.
Well, we'll call it a gain of 7. It'll bring up 2nd and 3 from the 26.
Conrad back.
Quarterback keeper all the way and barely getting back to the line of scrimmage.
Conrad likes to run that draw, QB draw, or QB up the middle, or QB whatever you want to call it, but they don't do much. But as he'll have most of his offensive line back for next year, he could be a force for next year. See what they do in the offseason. It's going to take a big offseason for both these teams to get in the hunt for next year.
Oh, absolutely. 3rd and 3. Looking across the middle. Fires low.
And look at number 54, Jimmy Bellman, out there from the defensive lineman spot out there hitting the receiver on a slant.
He was waiting for him. He was waiting.
Yeah,
that was dangerous right there.
Yeah, but that's what I like to see. They're playing with a lot of emotion, a lot of and I like to see Bartlett back here as a kick returner, or punt returner. That's something that we'll probably see a lot of next year. Bartlett back and going back a little deep. He don't have to go back so deep, I wouldn't think. This kicker can't kick that far. But
high snap, under pressure. Oh, my. How did he get that kick off? Unbelievable. Takes Elida bounce. It still wasn't stopped bouncing. It looked like he grabbed it a little bit too early there.
Yeah.
May have gotten a couple more yards out of it, but got a little anxious there. Decided to pick it up. And Wapak will take over near their 40-yard line.
How would it be, I mean, this is about the size of Waynesfield's football team, number-wise.
Yeah.
Elida with 33 players is very this might be the least they've had in years. And they a lot of these guys on both ways. You think, man, are they like Tyler Bly? He's not left the field. He's on every. These guys, are they tired? And they've done it all year, and it's amazing they haven't had any injuries.
You look at Waynesfield. They've had a really good year too. By the way, only one loss. I mean, their only loss was to Wayne Trace of all people, and they could have won that game.
Yeah, they were in it.
But right now, tonight, they're at Ridgemont, and then next week at Fairbanks.
And
but
Fairbanks
coming into tonight, 7-1. That's pretty good.
Yeah, they're sixth in the region, and the big game is next week at Fairbanks. They went, and Fairbanks is undefeated also. It's for the crown of the league, and either team that wins, it's probably going to the playoffs. So it's a big game next week. I know. I like Spencer over there. You can talk to him at the golf course when you go over there and golf. A good guy, nice guy, good coach. Gary Spencer, really good coach.
Yeah.
He's done a lot for the program ever since he's taken over. The 2 playoff appearances.
Yeah, very quietly, that small little school east of Wapakoneta has done an outstanding job, and they've got a new facility out there that they're building. They're working on right now, and they've always had some good basketball teams, good girls teams out there too.
Yeah, they got some speed. That little school, they produced some of the fastest little guys. I tell you, they had 100 meters champion Horn the other 2 years ago, and that kid ran a 10.6 100-meter dash. That's getting it.
That is getting it. Holy mackerel. Oh, Garrett Lang fumbled the ball, and let's see if Elida has the recovery. There's a lot of white shirts saying they do.
But
let's see if the Zebras say they do. That's the important one.
Now Elida's got it.
But wait a second. There's some conversation as to whether or not he was down, but it looked like he fumbled well before.
Oh, yeah,
he
he fumbled it. But it's Elida's ball.
There it is. So another turnover tonight. And between these two teams, like you said, a 2-6 team and an 0-8 team, you're going to have a lot of mistakes. And we've seen our fair share this evening. There's no question about that.
Yeah, I tell you, it's Lang. I don't know what happened. It looked like he didn't come in with his arms out. I mean, it looked like he came in to get the ball. I can't replay. I can't exactly say what happened, but just kind of bounced right off his pads onto the ground.
Yeah.
That happens. But he hasn't played in a while. This is like he's been off 5 weeks.
Well, he was off and then back on again and then back in again, and hadn't seen a lot of playing action. But again, recovering from injury is a tough thing. Let's hope that he's ready for next year.
We definitely need him next year.
1st and 10 for the Bulldogs now at the Wapak 49. Conrad looking for some running room and is going to lose a few yards on the play.
Nowhere to go for Conrad, but hey, he's hanging in there and holding on to the ball.
Well, our hats off to the Wapakoneta seniors this year who have done an admirable job under the circumstances, giving it all they can to try to have a successful season. And tonight, Zach Lauch, 3 touchdowns, Adam Lowther, 2 touchdowns, all on the ground. And that's been a heck of a night for those guys.
Yeah, and you want to see that. You see, it's like a senior night here for them too, and they've just really shown how how tough they are. And
you know what? For two ex-running backs up in a booth, there's nothing better than to see them running in.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry, but that's it's always fun to watch.
Yep.
So a couple of nice running plays there for Zach Lauck, yards of 7, 4, and 23. And Adam Lowther with yards of 11 and 1 yard run. But it's been about field position and mistakes, and I guess Wapak's had some good field position, and I guess we're even as far as the mistakes are concerned.
And that's
miscues.
why you got to 0-8 and 2-6 on some of the mistakes. We could have maybe been 500.
Oh, setting up the screen. He's got some running room out on the left wing. Going to be
nice
short of the
hit
first
by
down.
Wow, Bartlett laid it out, man. He hit Bly like.
You know what? If he would have led Bly a little bit more instead of throwing it to the sideline, if he would have led him a little bit more, he probably would have had more than that gainer. Probably would have had the first down and then some.
Yeah, Bartlett with that hit there, you worry because he separated his shoulder week 3 this
That's
year.
Right. Another guy that was injured back.
And it goes back
to
remember Fell's first year, 13 injuries his first
brutal.
year.
That was brutal.
They were big injuries too, and that's kind of happening this year.
4th and a long 4. Here's Conrad inside his 45. At his 50 now, steps up, looks for that slant again, in and out of the hands of the intended receiver.
Drake Ferris, senior, 6'3", 200-pound tight end.
So Wapak will take over on downs. I'd like to, but I would like to thank our sponsors for tonight's broadcast. Once again, Allen Davis Insurance and Financial Services, your Wapakoneta Family YMCA, G.A. Windsor & Sons, Home Savings Bank, Cantor West Chiropractic, and Miller's Corral. Go ahead. What were you going to say?
Okay, we've got the JV out here now. I'll see how the JV does against the starting defense of the Elida Bulldogs.
1 minute and 5 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. Wapak up 35-3. And in there is Kyle Hegemeyer at quarterback. And he's going to hand it off
to Deffenbaugh.
Matt Deffenbaugh, another junior. Deffenbaugh, another one of those guys that saw a little bit of action earlier in the season, too. Him and Lawrence and a few other people. And, it hasn't been the Lowther Lock show that we kind of expected when the season started, where they were going to be the go-to guys 100% of the time. It was guys like Deffenbaugh, like Lawrence, like Lang that showed something in practice that they got a lot more reps than we anticipated, and we thought that there was going to be a lot more stability back there, but nonetheless, there's Garrett Lang right now. Oh, man, if he cuts it to the right. It looked like he wanted to run the Elida player. If he cut to the right, he probably could have put it in from there.
Yeah, that's the first time I got to really see how fast he is, and he does got wheels. And I just seen him maybe juke it, but he said, heck with it.
He just dropped his shoulder.
Yeah.
16 seconds remaining, the clock running. They usually don't fire it up until the markers are set, but they fired it up, and that's going to bring us to the end of 4 quarters. From Harmon Field, Redskins 35, Bulldogs 3. We'll be back.
And now, a Roadrunner heist.
What's that?
The internet from David's house.
Put it back.
But the Roadrunner is so much faster than our phone line. Don't you want what's best for us?
No. Honey, you too?
Yeah, me too.
Start something new with Roadrunner High-Speed Online from Time Warner Cable.
Welcome back to the start of fourth quarter action. It's Kyle Hegemeyer now at quarterback. And going to hand it off once again to Deffenbaugh. There's a late flag that's coming in from the side judge.
On what?
And I think he's looking at Brad Wooster because he had his hands up in the air, and he's looking back, and there might be a hold or a crackback block. We'll see what they're going to call. There's the umpire.
Don't be waving your hand, buddy. You actually, something happened there. Of course, something the ref's seen. We've had too much. We had that last week with Chambers on that nice 25-yard catch, and I got a personal foul.
Right. Well, just underway fourth quarter action here from Harmon Field. Big Dan Wilson alongside of Josh Bishop. 35-3 on the Molten Gas scoreboard. Worcester split wide to the left. Another wide receiver out to the right. T formation in the backfield. Kyle Hegemeyer almost drew him off slides. Sides or slides? There's Garrett Lang, the ball carrier, for a gain of about maybe 3 on the play. So we know that Doug Zimmer's got his hands full, but a young coach like Jason Carpenter across the way at the Elida Bulldogs, he's certainly going to have his hands full next year.
Yeah, he don't even have a JV team.
How do you keep people motivated? How do you keep them motivated at that?
No, these guys they don't have a JV team playing.
But it kind of amazes me because you look down in their midget football league, and I think they have at least 2, maybe 3 midget football teams. It seems like there's a lot of enthusiasm with the program. It just doesn't translate into JV and varsity players.
Yeah.
Hegemar sets it up, looks, throws, and there's going to be all kinds of hitting and holding, and it may be on Worcester again.
No.
As he was trying to set up the screen out there.
Was it? It is.
I believe it is because he was trying to screen his guy to set up the a block. Yeah, and that's what it is. Motion out there, I guess. Maybe that was it came from the right side, and that's where he was set up.
Wow.
It doesn't matter what the score is. It doesn't matter who you're playing. Mistakes are mistakes are mistakes, and they stink. Brings up 4th down as it's declined by the Elida Bulldogs. And they'll bring out the punting unit as the ball is at the 42 of the Bulldogs.
Lining up in punt formation for the Redskins, number 66,
Bogan. I think this is Bogan's first punt of the night.
No, he's had one more. He had one other punt.
Bulldogs is 23, Michael Hurley, and number 7, C.J. Warren.
How did I miss that? Must have been all the running by Locke and Lawther, I guess. I don't know. Bogan standing inside the 50 and kicks it right at the 50. A nice kick taken inside the 10. And
they got it. There's another penalty, face mask.
Looked like he may have turned him around, but there's
flag, face mask
all kinds of flags down there.
Face mask on Adam Lowther, which that was an easy mistake. He went to grab his jersey and kind of
got the hand to the face.
Yep.
Well, I'll tell you this much. There is a good crowd on hand for tonight's contest for week number 9, and as terrible as the weather had been all day, falling temperatures and the threat of rain, still a good crowd on hand. 10:47 remaining in tonight's contest, 35-3 on the Molten Gas scoreboard. I'd like to once again thank one of our fine sponsors for tonight's broadcast, of course, our friends at Time Warner Cable. Remind you can catch all the action as well as other local events and happenings, as well as sporting events on Local On Demand 1111. Be sure to give them a call about digital cable, Roadrunner, and now phone service available in the Wapakoneta area. 3-step drop, looks across the middle, fires, overthrows, caught! And it looks like it was intended for number 21, Mitch Owen, all the way as Owen came up with it and overthrew
C.J. Warren.
C.J. Warren, and Warren didn't really get his hands up there for that ball.
He looked like he gave up. And he could have made something happen there.
At least tipped the ball away. But maybe he didn't see Owen on his outside. Maybe he didn't sense it was there.
Good play by Owen. We've had 2 really good defensive interceptions by
Owen and Beamer.
Beamer.
Yeah, did a great job of concentrating on the ball and bringing it down. Turnovers tonight for both teams. But the Bulldogs can do without them. Here's Kyle Hegemeyer up over center. Hands it off to the first guy through his Garrett Lang, and Lang bowls his way forward for a gain of about 4 on the play. 10:31 remaining, and the clock running. 2nd and 6 from the 47. Wapak coming into this game, tough loss at home. Really, I don't think the score was indicative of the game, but there were 2 big players in Bellefontaine in week number 1 that really took it to us. And it was a 41-14 loss. Week number 2 here at home.
Ball with a really tough run there.
Week number 2 at home produced a victory for the Wapakoneta Redskins, 10-7. And then at Defiance, a lightning-delayed game that Wapak should have won. And they came up on the short end of that one. And again, the score not indicative of what happened, 28-17. At OG, mistakes by the Wapakoneta Redskins. Again, no score. They did not produce any points, but the game just seemed a lot closer than 21-0. And then a loss to St. Mary's here at home. That was a tough one. 17-9.
The outside.
A win at Van Wert, 28-8, and then a loss to Shawnee, 28-0. And then a tough loss last week here at home against the Kent Bulldogs, which brings us to tonight's contest, 35-3. Wapak up on the Molten Gas scoreboard. Next week on the road to Bath. And a chance to finish the season 4-6.
And that would definitely be an improvement. Zimmer probably, then we were 1-9 last year and I don't know how Greenville's doing this year. I don't think they're doing real well. I think they've won maybe three games.
Not sure.
Tell you, surprise is Sydney Yellow Jackets. We came out and whooped on them in our scrimmage this year, and they've done real well. I think they're like 500, and they're tough.
And Wapak looked really good against Sydney down at Sydney, their last big scrimmage before the season started, and that was on August 17th. And everybody was healthy, and they looked ready for the season.
Yeah, they did, and we thought at that point it was going to be something to watch.
But this has been the most inconsistent part of the season is this offense.
Yeah,
As
penalties.
we look at Matt Deffenbaugh, the ball carrier there.
Penalties have been huge, and we have over 100 yards in penalties tonight.
Wow. Oh, that's rough.
That's been the season. I mean, we drove down to Ottawa. We were down under 20, and that big penalty knocked us back. Just knocks the wind out of you.
Oh, yeah.
It does. It knocks the wind out of you.
Yeah, first play of the game, they had that huge play, first play of the game.
Called back.
No, they made that, but it was the next.
Yeah, the next play.
They had an interception.
Yeah. Took it right, yeah.
Penalty and interception. 2nd and 12 from the 36, 8:21. We have a clock stop. Now they're going to fire it back up again with the officials' timeout on the field. Worcester back in. He's wide to the right. There's Lottridge wide left. Hagemeyer under center.
Who's that? Gee, many Christmas. Number 12.
Yeah, running like a bulldog is
Drew Erb.
Drew Erb.
What a run.
Drew Erb.
He looked like Zach Falcon, a different number. Yeah, tough run.
Well, it could be Erb and Erb next year, too. We could see a lot of those two guys. Logan's a freshman, and
he's
Drew
a
the sophomore.
Yeah, Logan Herb, he's going to probably be the next stud here at Wapakoneta. I mean, you never know, but as a freshman, he sure is.
Oh, yeah. That goes back to watching him with the Warriors. My son played in midget football. He played really well there, and he's a great wrestler, too, by the way.
Yeah, 3rd in the nation in nationals.
3rd and 3. Hagemeyer's going to hand it off again.
Drew Erb with another great run.
And he's got the first down near the 20-yard line. A couple nice runs there by the sophomore, Drew Erb. 7:19 remaining in the game. I'd like to thank one of our sponsors for tonight's broadcast. Once again, our friends over at Derryberry and Davis Insurance Agency, your health insurance specialist. Derryberry and Davis, 127 West Auglay Street, downtown Wapakoneta. Give John Derryberry or Robin LaFontaine a call at Derryberry and Davis Insurance Agency. Hagemeyer's going to hand it off again and bouncing off a few people is Garrett Lang. Is it Lang or Deffenbaugh?
Deffenbaugh. Just powering it down. Tell you what, I like him. I hope he could just work on his speed a little bit, and I think he's so strong.
Well, yeah, I know. We got a lot of these guys that, it's going to be tough to try to find a spot for him.
I tell you what, if Deffenbaugh, they can't find a spot on running back, they sure could use him on the offense and defensive line.
Oh, no question about it.
mean, maybe take a golden spot because he likes to hit. There's no doubt about that.
2nd and 5 from the 17, 6:19 remaining. Wapak's just going to continue to run the ball. Oh, fumbled and picked up again by Irby. Breaks a few tackles, trying to get into the end zone, and he does.
Oh, what a run.
And a couple hard licks as he got into the end zone afterwards.
That's a run.
That was a nice
something,
run.
Huh?
Maintained his balance, maintained the possession of the ball, and did an excellent job of running the sideline into the end zone.
Yeah, I tell you, you don't see that very often. You fumble back in your hands, make a quick juke to the outside, and go for 30 yards. That only happens in the Saturday highlights.
So it's Drew Erb breaking it up a little bit. Somebody other than Lauck and Lowther getting into the end zone, but again, much to the satisfaction of 2 ex-running backs in the booth, another run for a touchdown.
Yeah. And I tell you, Drew Herb is one of their fast sprinters in he's on the 4x1 team that went second in the WBLs last year. He's the first leg and really good speed.
We've got a lot of jets
We've
out
got a
there.
lot of jets, and they all come back.
Well, this is kind of amazing to me. I mean, it's not like we only have 15 players or 30 players out there. We've got guys that can go both ways, and we've got a lot of depth. It just doesn't seem like we're getting the biggest bang for the buck, should I say?
Yeah, I tell you, if I'd like to see, and I know I say this and I pound on it, but as last year, I thought Bartlett this year might have been top back in the league coming in with him and Stevenson. And obviously the coaches see something else in him, but I like it when he gets a hold of the ball, he makes people miss and he can shake and bake.
Well, I can remember that first touchdown that Bartlett had against Bellefontaine at Bellefontaine last year.
Yeah.
That was like, if you blinked, you missed it.
Yep.
It was a 36-yard run, I believe, somewhere in that neighborhood, and you blinked, he was gone.
Yeah.
It was just a great run, and when I was anticipating the same thing this year, but we got another kicker kicking off for the Wapakoneta Redskins. Mr. Murphy, Patrick Murphy.
What grade's he in? Is that
another sophomore?
Is that Josh's little brother?
I don't know. But Patrick is that's a good Irish name, Patrick Murphy. He spells it in the Irish manner. Padraig. It's just like the Irish spelling of Sean, Sean. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. First and 10 from the 30, 6:02 remaining in the game. Wapak up 42-3 on the Ball and Gas scoreboard.
Yeah, we got some substitutions on defense. We got a couple new guys in. We got some seniors playing on the defensive line. Number 73, Brent Ramey. Is that who that is? No, that's Derek Hartman and a couple other guys.
There's a screen out to the right side. One guy to beat, and he beat him. And then brought it. He tried to run back across the grain, but if he would have stayed to the outside, probably we would have had the first down and then some.
That was a nice run by the best run I've seen C.J. Warren. Looked like he had some confidence and
he probably could have had a few more yards if he didn't come back across the field and into the pursuit. Guy like that, you don't want to run into the pursuit. You want to run away from the pursuit.
But he made something out of nothing. It looked like, he was going to stop for no gain or loss of yards and made it happen.
Again showing blitz.
Ooh, nice hit, man. The host of defensive linemen, number 90 and 54 and 83. You got Bellman and
you were just talking about C.J. Warren and downfield. Danny Drips has covered him one-on-one, and they were going at it there at about the 45-yard line. They were giving it to each other.
Well, good. That's what you like to see. And Danny Drips, I'm glad we get him back. One of the speedsters.
I mean, it could be a definite, weapon. There's no question about it.
I'd like to work on his hands and use him as a receiver, and with the guy that runs that.
Spread
fast.
the field a little bit, like we kind of expected to have Bartlett out there.
Mm-hmm.
3rd and 5 from the 35. 4:44 remaining here in the game. Sets up, looks, fires, caught.
Ooh, nice
Looks like
catch.
He's got enough for the first down
nice
as
catch
they give him the
by
forward
Matt
progress. Eilerman. They're going to give him the first down,
and Walpock's bringing some more newbies in.
Made by number 20, Dan Drips.
First and 10 from the 41.
And Jensen Webb and a host of other Wapak of defensive linemen on there. They got Jensen Webb and number 15 Joe DiGiovanni and a couple other guys. Get some of the younger guys in there and some of the seniors that haven't got to play all year and getting a taste of Friday Night Lights, and it's a good taste with a 42-3 lead.
You know, the unfortunate thing for Elida is that you bring in all these new bodies, and they're fresh and they're ready to go. And, you know, Elida, a team like this, just doesn't have the numbers to keep up. And, you know, physically, you know, it's just those fresh bodies against the guys that have been out there all night. And so, yeah, it's always tough.
Yeah, we got Wapak. It's a time. No, there was no timeout on the field.
Well, it was officials timeout on the field. They wanted to make sure they had the right spot. He's going to be close to the first down, but they're not going to give it to him. They're going to say he was short of the first down, so it'll bring up 3rd and a long 1 from the 49. They'll fire the clock back up. 3:16 remaining. Looks like a quarterback keeper once again, and it is.
Ooh, and he's nailed.
Oh, man.
Nailed.
He's going to lose a yard on the play.
With Webb and you know what you're seeing? We got 2 of our down linemen, and Jensen Webb and Bellman playing linebacker. I don't know if this is a switch they might make for next year to put the faster guys at linebacker and maybe some of the new guys coming up, like your Bogan, which is nose guard, and some of your other guys at defensive line.
Wow, those could be a couple of nice linebackers.
Oh, yeah, they could be fast and tough. Yeah, very tough.
Yeah, I'd like to see that.
Me too. Fill right in. Hard to take their ship in Seineke's place, but them would be 2 that could
do it.
Could do it.
No question about it. There's 4th and 1. They're going to pass it, and he's got the first down. Again. And he's going to be wrestled out of bounds. It's going to stop the clock with 2:23 remaining. We'll ramp it up as we get down to the end of the game here, Josh. And for the name of the game for Wapak, it's all been about the run, and it's been about those 2 seniors, Adam Lauther and Zach Lauk. And with the exception of a 17-yard run by the sophomore Drew Erb, those 2 seniors had an outstanding night tonight.
Yeah, they are. And I'm glad they got to do it, like you said, as running backs. You like to see them on their last home game tear it up.
Last home game as seniors.
And that rollout play just hasn't worked for either team tonight. They roll out and they're just swarmed by a swarm of Redskins, and on vice versa, as Parker was rolling out, he got swarmed by a host of Elida Bulldogs. Just seems like that rollout hasn't worked for either team tonight, Dan.
No, and it hasn't worked for Wapak all year long. It seems like they've had trouble, you know, trying to get some time. When Parker was rolling left or rolling right, it just always seemed like he had a guy in his face every time. Clock continuing to run. $1:37 remaining in the game. Under a lot of pressure, he's going to throw and overthrow the intended receiver.
Might as well hit him.
And yeah, Warren got his hand up to the face, but
49 is. I don't know what he's doing there, but Warren clocked him.
Wow, Jimmy Bellman got in there so quick.
He did.
He is. Conrad.
That's what I like about Bellman. They're so fast.
Incomplete pass will stop the clock with $1:32 remaining. Wapak on the road to Bath. Will improve their record to 3-6. The Bulldogs 0-9 on the road to St. Mary's next week for WBL action. Motion to the left. That's Warren. Here's Conrad trying to set up the screen. He brings in everybody for the screen, and he gets the screen off and has some running room. Number 32, Tyler Bly, and he's going to get into the end zone.
There it goes. Just like
and
that.
Tyler Bly, a 47-yard run on the screen pass.
Tough kid, I tell you, Bly, tough ball player.
Well,
he deserved it.
Yes.
He played his heart out
Hey,
tonight.
no question about it. Anytime you got a senior that's out there, and like you mentioned, they are short a few seniors. That was a sweet little run. And a lot of patience there by Conrad.
Quarterback,
Conrad, he brought in everybody on that screen. You're only supposed to sucker in the linebackers.
Yeah.
He had the entire defensive line and the linebackers in his face and still managed to get the pass off. And it wasn't, he barely got it back to the line of scrimmage, and it was Tyler Bly who did all the work. Any extra point, by the way, is good. So on the Molten Gas scoreboard, it's 42-10. Onside kick, what do you think? Why not?
Why not?
I'd like to thank our sponsors once again tonight, our friends over at your Wapakoneta Family YMCA, Home Savings Bank, Derryberry and Davis Insurance Agency, and Bailiff and Ely Long and Folk Funeral Homes. G.A. Windsor and Sons. Can't say enough about Gus and the family out there. This is my 11th year of broadcasting high school football here on Time Warner Cable, and G.A. Windsor has been a sponsor every year. Not only that, but any community service programming that we have going on, in addition to other high school sports like Wapak basketball, G.A. Windsor and Sons has been there. Great community-minded, civic-minded family members there. They're just great supporters of the community, and they've been around for a long time, since 1848. Here's the onside kick. Hopefully it's going to go 10 yards. Oh, big bounce.
And Madigan with the big paws there grabs it and goes to the ground.
We missed it. That's all right.
Maybe they'll put him at quarterback next year, just so he could run over people.
$1:18 remaining in the game. 42-10 on the Molten Gas scoreboard, and back out comes Kyle Hegemeyer at quarterback.
No, what are they going to do? They gonna run their offense, or are they going to just down it? And
Hegemeyer is one of those guys stands sideways. You can't see him.
I know. He needs to put on some weight.
He's a rail. Hands off to Deffenbaugh, and Deffenbaugh trying to get around right tackle, and a nice hard run by Deffenbaugh for a gain of about 8.
Yeah.
And who's calling timeouts? Bulldogs are going to call timeout.
Heck. They want the ball back. They want to score again.
Well, we'll keep it right here. And I think what Coach is doing is he's wanting to he had a big hug for Tyler Bly, the senior, as he was coming off. Coach Jason Carpenter, that was a pretty nice moment there.
Yeah. Tell you, young guy, Carpenter, he's not much over 25 if he is, 26, 27 at the most. And he's his first head coaching job. He's been an assistant, or maybe he was the head coach there in Florida, but he's actually from Milan, Michigan. Here, and that's how somehow he affiliated with.
Wanted to get closer to home, huh?
Yeah. I tell you what, it's just too hot in Florida. I wouldn't want to. Mosquitoes and
it's a
the
great
humidity.
place to visit.
Just visit, but come back home. This is football weather.
Yeah, amen, man.
It's football weather in Ohio.
Amen. Say hallelujah. 2nd and 3 from the 48. Hegemeyer again is going to hand it off.
Deffenbaugh with a tough run.
Man, oh, man. Running
I tell
hard.
You, he's been doing this all year in JV.
He should have enough for a first down.
Yeah.
Let's see.
And he does.
And they are. Going to move the chains. 1 minute and 4 seconds remaining. They'll fire the clock up again.
That's a guy I can't believe that didn't get a spot on the varsity football team. And I mean, there's a lot of spots, a lot of were filled, but I think Deffenbaugh was a player that I thought after watching him run in the scrimmages and that maybe he could have played a spot on the offensive line or, tight end or something as strong and tough as he is. But I'm not the coach, and I'm not there every day.
And Hegemeyer is going to take the snap and take a knee with 38 seconds remaining. And that's going to wind down the clock. They're going to fire it up again, and I think they have to run one more play. Do they? Yes, they do. 2 more plays, actually. I'd like to thank our sponsors for tonight's broadcast, our friends over at Allen Davis Insurance and Financial Services, your Wapakoneta Family YMCA, G.A. Windsor and Sons, Home Savings Bank, Derryberry and Davis Insurance Agency, Bailiff and Ely Long and Folk Funeral Homes, Molten Gas Service for the Molten Gas scoreboard, Cantor West Chiropractic, and Miller's Corral. For my tag team partner, the absent Ron Bucky Buchanan. Of course, Josh Bishop up here tonight. And our videographers, the lovely Dana Wilson. Glenn Miller and his band of renown, Dave Whitby Jenneret. This is Big Dan Wilson from Harmon Field. Our final score, the Wapakoneta Redskins 42, the Elida Bulldogs 10. Have a good night, everybody.